Become Legend is a tabletop role-playing game that may include elements of violence, substance abuse, mental illness, emotional trauma, and may include other mature content or themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, summoners, and welcome to Become Legend, the Ultramodern 5 actual play here on the Free Forge. Thank you all so much for joining in. Seeing so many lovely faces in chat. Thank you so much for all the resubs, the new subs, the first-time chatters, summoners, sorry. You're all summoners, like me. Welcome. We are going to dive right into things, but there's something so important going on right now that I wanted to mention it before the stream as opposed to at the end when I usually do. And that is that the Free Forge is currently accepting applications for you to sit in the seat that I'm sitting in right now. That's right, GM applications are open right now through to the 7th. So make sure you are hopping in the Discord, meeting all the wonderful people, and bringing your ideas to the table so that you can help us forge new worlds. With, oh my gosh, one real quick Sally, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in. Thank you for trusting us with your community. We are so happy to have you here for the next episode of Become Legend. Without further ado, in our last match of Become Legend, the group met their would-be savior, an interesting gentleman by the name of Casker Solomon. After a brief introduction, finding the enforcers hot on their heels, the group made their way into the underground systems of Zon and out to what Reggie realized was the treatment facility on the river separating the sibling cities. Running into a lone enforcer, Casker was downed by the guard through use of a highly technological pistol. Niche, not skipping a beat, used her ultimate ability to end the enforcer and transfer the stolen life force to enliven Casker, saving his life. Moving into the sewer system of Piltover, Casker revealed that the safest place for them to hide would be in the City of Progress itself, and he had a residence there to hide them in. As they came out of the sewers and onto the well-built streets, the group maneuvered carefully following their rescuer. Unfortunately, a citizen coming out of a building came face to face with Io, who used her deck to give the young lady a reading, the corresponding arcane energy causing the woman to flee into the night. Arriving at Casker's domicile, it was quickly found out that this place once belonged to a member of the group, Reginald, who admitted to the group that he was once part of the Council of Piltover. After a brief conversation and where it was found, Arch is deep in debt with Casker, the group was given rooms in the house to rest for the night, and Casker would speak to them in the morning regarding what he wants as repayment for saving them. As the group begins to settle in, Reggie slipped away to the attic, with Io sneaking after him. though not very successfully, as Reggie used one of his abilities to enhance his perception and sight. Asking Io to join him, Reggie and Io search the attic together for an item of utmost importance. Meanwhile, Niche, Arch, and Nemo began to get ready for bed. While Arch was playing with his pendant, a blue energy is released, and Arch seemed to transform again, the specter speaking to Nemo and Niche for a moment, giving himself the name Whisper, and informing the present company that he was there to protect Arch. Reggie and Io, searching the attic, quickly found the item that Reggie was looking for, a pocket watch he's had since birth, called Reggie's Hextech Timekeeper. While searching another area, Io found a folder simply labeled Callisto and was able to slip it into her person before Reginald was able to see. Returning to the room, the group settled in to rest. During watch, Niche saw a black silhouette and flashes of white movement, hearing ominous voices in her head asking if she would be ready. In the morning, the group awoke to the smells of delicious breakfast and headed down to the kitchen where they discovered Casker making a meal for them, including regional treats from some of the company's homelands. It is let on that Casker knew a lot more about the group than he had first let on. It was during this meal that the group of them decided to hear out Casker and his plan. He let them know that the Council of Piltover had recently been attacked just a couple days prior, and that the enforcers were in full force in Zon in order to root out and find out who was responsible for this heinous attack against the Council. As a businessman, Casker offers a deal to the group, saying that he already knows the culprit was an individual named Jinx who hailed from Zon, and that after she performed the attack, she is now hiding somewhere in the underground with two other individuals as captives. Their mission was to apprehend Jinx, save the other two, and in return, using the power he seems to have quickly gotten in this region, Casker would clear their names. Arch tried to sweeten the pot by betting Casker that if he won a simple game of dice, Casker would return Reginald's house to him after the mission. But if he lost, Casker would be able to use Arch in one of his factories for quote-unquote experiments. And it is here where our next match begins. You all sitting at breakfast, finishing up quickly, and realizing that Arch is now in more trouble than when you started. So, champions, what happens next?
Arch had previously been shoveling down all this food of bacon and whatever else he can get, and you see him just kind of like rolling the dice in his hand and just staring at the plate, unmoving.
Well,
Archie
what?
should probably eat.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. We got a heck of a night ahead of us. Takes like a bite.
It's at this point that a individual enters from the hallway and walks over to Casker, a nondescript, regular humanoid, surprisingly wearing a very similar suit to what Casker was wearing the night before, black with the white undershirt and the skinny black tie. No hat on this individual. They have black hair slicked back, and they kind of give a little look to all of you quizzically, and then lean in and whisper into Casker's ear for a couple moments, and after a second he kind of looks up. Fucking hell, are you sure? Right. Okay then. Well, off you go, I'll be along shortly. It appears that last night, over 100 people were grabbed from Zon. and are all being taken to Blackwell Prison right now to be questioned. Luckily for the lot of you, though, it appears that two things also happened. The first being one of the individuals, I'm assuming the one that Io had a conversation with, reported seeing at least one of you on this side of the river. And there's also been some interesting red-sailed ships that have landed at the Hex Gates, which has caused a lot, the majority, I'd say, of all of the enforcers to pull back out of Zon. And now it appears that security is tightened up even more here in Piltover. Should make the second half of your job easier anyway. Well, I've got something to take care of. I suggest laying low during the day. God presence will be up, especially when the lights are out. Feel free to use the house until the evening, and then just remember, looking at Niche, once you've captured who we talked about, use that control I gave you, press that button, and we'll make sure we're along promptly.
How amenable would you be to me opening up the box, taking a peek inside while we're here?
I mean, don't break it. If you do, I won't be able to come find you, and then who knows what could happen. Trust me, you don't want the enforcers getting to you before I do.
I'll take that under advisement. Thank you.
Very well. Fantastic. Well, as they say, what is it? My house is your house. Well, I suppose, and kind of gives Reggie a little wink. In this case, my house is your house. So, do with it what you will. Just try not to break anything. I've done a few upgrades since you left, as you know. And just remember that somebody's always watching. And Casker pushes his chair back from the table and kind of flicks his cane under his arm and casually just starts walking out, leaving all of you in the dining area of the kitchen by yourselves. Really quick, thank you so much, Mindy, for gifting a summoner spell to Niche and to Reggie. James for giving 5 more to Niche. Aoife for giving 2 to Niche and 2 to Io. Stamosis for giving 1 to Reggie. Flock Obama giving 1 to Nemo. Aoife giving another 1 to Niche. And Deej hooking up Reggie with 1. And we have done a level 2 hype train, so you all get your first abilities and your second abilities.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we're gonna need those.
As soon as my button works properly. There you go. Thank you so much, everybody. Remember that the hype train, if we can get it to the level 5, will unlock the ultimates for everybody, which currently nobody has their ultimate abilities. Oh my gosh, Warrior coming in with all of the biddies to give everybody another summoner spell. Thank you so much, Warrior. Appreciate it. So, with the kitchen now empty, save for your small group, what is it you would like to do, champions?
Arch will look at Reggie and say, Reggie, don't let him get to you. He has this knack to say the cruelest things and just crawl under your skin, and I know he does it intentionally, but it just like edges me on to do more back. And if it means anything, I would just say, try and let it go, because you don't want to end up in a spot like where I'm in right
now. The guy's a twit, and I don't like him.
remind me how you got so completely fucked by this guy that gambling yourself seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, I mean, the, the gambling is the fun part, you know? It's like you never know which way the dice is gonna roll, and sometimes I get in a row and I feel like before I ran into you, I cleaned house at the last drop. I walked out of there, had everything to pay him back, and lo and behold, these 3 hooligans came and jumped me and beat the crap out of me, and that's why I had all the busted up face when I first saw you. And you know, it's just, honestly, I think it's more my own fault. I seem to have the worst of luck. I mean, one bad thing after another. But there's nothing like that rush, that adrenaline, that joy, and that tension of wondering which way the dice is gonna fall. And when it hits, whew, it hits. I know, not the healthiest thing. It's probably got me in more trouble than it's worth. But there's always 2 things you can do. You can always get lucky or run.
I absolutely love that style.
I knew you'd get it.
Oh, of course.
Which brings me to some question I had for you, actually, talking about gambling and taking risks. You know, I don't really remember a whole lot from our first encounter, but I do remember that moment of, like, somebody, that wasn't your house. I mean, we met there like 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's been a couple months, honestly, to, go through my sessions. And it seemed that they were looking for someone else. So what's up? Are you doing more than pickpocketing, Io?
I was borrowing the place, you could say. It wasn't mine. No. They were definitely not looking for me.
I mean, honestly, you don't use a space down there for too long and someone else is going to move in. The bakery was a restaurant before me, and then it was, I think it was a storage facility, and then before that it was an actual bakery or a deli, depending on who you talk to, and before that, I don't know. But things change hands quickly.
Had a really comfy roof, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing about roofs are, you just don't want to roll over in your sleep, because then you might take a fall down. That's happened before. But anyway, Reggie, how do you go? By the way, let me just say, this place is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous. Why are you not still here?
As I said, I was formerly on the council, and then I was not on the council, and now here we are. That's the end of the story. Yeah.
It's fair.
And
You don't meet an ex-council member who's super cagey about the why and what without doing a little bit of follow-up. We could hear it from you, get your version of the story, or ask around.
You
Well,
do that.
there-
I mean, I go check on something. Nemo just walks out.
here's what I'll say to you. It was a major event in my life, and I've only known you all for less than 24 hours. Don't you think a man is entitled to a certain amount of privacy?
Yes and no, I suppose. And Niche will kind of give him a bit of an eye, a bit suspicious, and turns her attention towards the box that Casker pushed in her direction.
Arch will also add, I appreciate that, Reggie, and I just maybe should take a moment to tell all of you, it's probably a good idea for you all to run. In truth, you have no ties here. I'm already in it with Saul, Casker Saul. I call him Saul. He hates it. That's why I keep doing it. But I just, I feel honestly a little bit guilty. And if you all want to leave, by all means, I'll bear the brunt of this and go find Minx or I know it's Jinx. I'm still trying to get over that fact anyway. Terrifying. But nonetheless, you don't have to do this. If you want to go, Reggie's door is right there. You can do that.
This has been the most fun I have had in so long. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't miss this for the world.
You're an interesting one, Io. I can't say that I agree, but we've kind of already made our beds. Now we got to lie in them. We've already done some things, hurt some people. I don't know any other decision to make at this point. Feel like maybe I'm stuck with you all for a bit.
Hey, Niche, do you remember if that button is on the desk or the end table?
Oh gosh, Nemo, no, please do not press. Okay,
I'm just looking for it. I don't remember if
was
it's on the desk or the end table.
the-
Desk?
I will tell you if you promise not to push it.
I'm not going to push it. I just want to know where it is, and I kind of want to
It's
look
on the
at
desk.
it. Okay, cool.
It's the desk.
Okay.
He's gonna get us all shot with this system, isn't he?
Nemo, if you're checking the desk in the other room, give me a investigation check.
God.
Niche, you can give me an engineering check for the box if you want to start investigating that. While you two roll those, Mindy, thank you so much for giving Arch another summoner spell, and Julian, from the honor roll, giving Nemo a summoner spell, and then Seattle Joe coming in hot with 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. 10 new champions in the mix. Nemo, we'll start with you. Your investigation check, investigation
spending 2 of my summoner spells and having a +1 investigation, that will be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, so as you kind of round this large Victorian style desk, the sheer dimensions of it would be like a regular humanoid sitting at like one of those little Fisher-Price children's toy desks is kind of what you look like. As opposed to it could easily be a bedroom for you, not just a desk. And as you're kind of looking around, you notice this desk probably belonged to Reggie when he owned the house, because it almost looks like the room would have had to be built around the desk and not the other way around. There doesn't seem to be an easy way to get this desk into this room. And as you kind of walk over, it's easily probably a foot taller than you are. So you're able to kind of go around to the side and see there appears to be 2 rows of drawers, 4 drawers on each side, and you look underneath and you see just on the right hand side there appears to be a little black square. Not so much a button as it kind of looks like a pad.
Fascinating. Wonder if there's a way I can turn this on. No, I promised Niche not to. No, it's just like right there. It's just, are any of the drawers locked?
As you try all of the drawers, they all appear to be locked, though there doesn't appear to be any keyholes.
God damn it. It's probably like finger coated or something like that. I'll just have to cut off his arm at some point. All right, well, that sucks. I'll just walk back into the kitchen. I didn't set off the alarm, but I figured out kind of how it works. So don't touch the little black thingy under the desk. Bad stuff happens. I think it also locks all the drawers too.
That would make sense. That's how I would build it.
Yeah, so if we ever want to get in or kind of disable that, we'll just have to cut off his hand.
Of course, you'd go
Great.
there.
Nemo has great ideas.
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, if you got to
Shakes their head.
disarm the system, disarm the guy, and then just use the guy's arm for the system. No, it's just simple. It's
I think
logic.
it's brilliant.
See exactly. So like not to kind of rush the happy things here, but who is this? We're looking for like somebody that's not too cool, and I'm just worried that we got to get back over there from here.
Right, and it sounds like it's probably going to be a good idea to get back to Zon, as Saul said that everybody was coming back over here looking for us. So,
Yeah.
also there's other people here probably looking for me anyway, so it'd probably be in all of our best interest just to get back.
Before we get too far into that niche, what was your engineering check?
So it's a 20, and then I will actually use 5 of my summoner spells, thank you so much, to make it a 25. Niche is,
Nice.
while this conversation is happening, they are turning the box over in their hands, and they're looking to remove a panel, loosen a screw, to make sure that this thing is precisely what Casker says it is and doesn't do a single thing more.
Do you want to describe the tool that you're using while you're working on this little box there, Niche?
So Niche, this thing is, how complex is this device?
It is extremely complex.
Niche starts off by pulling off one of their necklaces and flips out a component from the side, and we can see that the jewelry that they wear, it clanks a bit when they move, is all multi-tools of various pieces. Everything that they are wearing is practical in nature, and she's able to maybe get off the first panel by using a flathead screwdriver and then pull something off from a bracelet. But as they get deeper into the device, it gets more complicated. Well, I was hoping not to use this here, but here we are. And Niche will reach into their fanny pack, and from it they will produce kind of like a glove that has a kind of copper plate in the palm. The fingers are left exposed, but then around the wrist it's got all of these fancy gadgets, and with just like a flick of a hand they're able to produce different tools, which they use to just pry open this box like it is nothing.
So as Niche sets to work on the table on this and has to pull out this extremely intricate looking glove and gets the back panel off and kind of pulls into another section, all of a sudden there's a green light that kind of flashes off of the glove. And Niche, you would know this because of how this mechanism was created, that there appears to be some involvement with chemtech in this device. Because you rolled a 25 with your summoner spells.
Thank you all. Ugh, don't love that, but I'm not surprised. Good to know what I'm working with, I guess. Does it appear to be the same chemtech producer or maker or substance that's in the vial that Casker gave them?
Roll me another investigation check for the vial if you're going to pull it out and look at it.
Since
as well.
that is an investigation check, I will use Nisha's second ability, Empower, to give a +4. And you know what? I'll use one summoner spell to make it a 15. Oh wait, it's a 20 in total, but I still need to use the one summoner spell.
Okay, perfect. I've marked off the summoner spell and your second ability that we got because of the level 2 completion of the hype train. Thank you so much, champions in chat, summoners in chat. So as you're kind of investigating, you see that this vial, it is silver topped and bottomed and almost looks like one of like the battery cells, like, you know, in the Marvel movies where they keep the high energy that Tony Stark creates. It's got 4 poles that kind of run along parallel to this cylinder in the middle. And right now, the cylinder is filled with what appears to be a clear liquid. And on the top, you see a little blast cap that you can flip open and hit a switch that you assume is for arming the device, which would cause a chemical reaction and mix the chemicals, and then seeing what Casker did the previous night, you throw it at the ground and it emits this vapor. You're not 100% sure what the actual effects are, but you know that they are devastating. And on the very bottom of this stainless steel and glass contraption, you see an intricate raised carving of an S. And if you want to roll a history check for me now.
Let's see what this roll on the dice is. I will use another summoner spell to make that 19 a 20.
Oh, jeez. All right. Sarah or Niche with all the rolls tonight. Okay. Your vision kind of blurs for a second, and you have this not great flashback. A field in Ionia, green and purple gases settling around a battlefield, corpses and dysenteried bodies strewn about across everywhere, finding your mother, grabbing her unresponsive as you shake her, transferring life force into her, and it just livening up the body before it dissipates again. As you stumble around this field, you remember seeing these large canisters embedded in the ground, digging one out and seeing that same symbol etched into the bottom of the canister and on the side. And then your vision snaps back quickly.
We are working with a real dirtbag here, but no, this is good. This is good. And Nisha's in their own world as she looks at the box, as she reaches in to trace a finger over that S multiple times, kind of committing it to memory in a way she's wanted to for a while, but hasn't been able to. And then slowly she will begin to reassemble the box in the same way that it was taken apart.
Yeah, so I was going to say, you do notice after checking the canister, you see like a base restrictor plate that has some unknown way. You scan it with your glove, you check with a various bunch of different tools, and discover that it looks as if it's tamper-proof. And you don't have, even your multi-tool doesn't have the required equipment to get through it safely without possibly releasing whatever this box contains, other than the regular transmission mechanics that you would find. So you are aware that this box will send a transmission somewhere. It's a one-way transmission with a GPS unit, but it also likely does something else that you're not entirely sure of what yet.
That doesn't sit well with them, but they've learned enough for now. All right, I'm sorry. Do any of you know who Singed is?
Nemo turns fucking just cold. You did not
Anyone
just
else?
say what I think you just said.
I
What does
did.
that mean? What does that mean?
Io
Who's
and
Singe?
Arch, you can roll me history checks. Reggie and Nemo, you don't need to.
Reggie says nothing, but like dagger eyes, waiting for more.
4.
4.
A natural 20.
Natural 20. Throw your 20s in the chat. Arch, the name doesn't ring a bell to you at all, but you kind of notice as you're looking out of the corner of your eye, there is a slight blue pulse from your pendant. Io, you are very familiar with this name. You know that during the wars between Noxus and Ionia, when Noxus was trying to take over your homeland, there was several programs that involved chemical warfare that wiped out vast majorities of population in southern Ionia near your home, and that it was always suspected, especially among your tribe, that the several disappearances, including somebody that you know, were said to be linked to tests that Singed was doing with the Noxus army. Though nothing was ever definitively proven, it was heavily suggested that the large-scale chemical warfare Noxus tried to use to invade Ionia was linked directly to this Singed individual.
What about him?
It's good to see recognition on more faces than I was expecting, but it saves some explanation.
Actually,
Belongs-
I wouldn't mind some explanation because I'd like to know what we're getting into. If this guy's that bad.
He's the wars that have come to Ionia, when Noxus has come to Ionian shores on multiple occasions, bringing its soldiers, bringing its weapons, bringing its magic, but more recently, it's brought its chemtech, and that chemtech has created so much loss, so much destruction. I have watched as people drowned in their own lungs from the detonation of some of these weapons created. I have watched entire swaths of forest and beautiful, untouched, pristine places to live and just be destroyed by lingering fog that is still there, that you cannot get rid of, that there is no other type of chemical that seems to rip through it or push it away.
This was in Ionia?
All over the place.
Arch, your pendant pulses with that blue energy again. This time, Nemo, Niche, and Io, you would all notice it pulse as well.
Arch, do you see that?
See what? I'm gonna kind of reach down and grab the necklace real quick. Oh. I'm sorry, it's just I got lost when you said Ionia.
Arch, roll a Constitution save for me, please.
That's 12.
12? Okay. Carry on.
I've been there once before, and it was so beautiful. I can't imagine it being how you described. And this Singed, this is who's behind that?
That has been my suspicion, as well as a couple of other people's, for some time now. He hasn't been seen in Ionia in a while, but the rumor has been that he has a shop, or an outpost, or a chemistry here, well, in Zon. And
Nemo.
this, Niche taps on the box, at least a component of it is his work.
Nemo, are you okay?
No, we're fine. No, we're totally good. we're absolutely fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait until it gets dark, and then we're gonna go across the roof. Then we're gonna go over the bridge, and we're gonna get to Zahn, and we're gonna find this person. We're gonna bring him back to Casker, and then I'm going to put my gun to his head, scream at him a whole lot, then ask him very nicely where this man is, and then put a whole lot of bullets into his brain for what he did. So yeah. So Reg, does this mean anything to you? And he just points to a random glass that's just sitting on the kitchen table.
I don't think so.
Cool. And he just picks it up and hurls it against the wall.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Jinx is the mission, though, right? I mean, we have to bring Jinx back.
Yeah. A leads to B, leads to me shooting this guy a lot. Like a whole lot. Like...
Nemo, I need you. I know this is hard right now, but I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. I need you to look at me. One step at a time.
We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. No.
As long as we take it one step at a time.
You know you got us on your back whenever you need it. But this is a lot.
Yes.
Like a whole lot.
Yes. I had the suspicion when Casker showed us this, and Niche pulls the vial of green Kentek out of their clothing that had been given to them previous and kind of clinks it against the table. But needed to look a little bit closer, and this honestly might not be singed work. It's hard to tell, it's hard to see. There's a lot of Kentek in Zahn, but the box is unequivocal. This is a whole day already, and it is morning. The box is singed.
Reggie, roll a history check for me.
Me?
Reggie, sorry.
History.
Reggie's got 6 summoner spells just thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like thick with them, man.
I'm gonna use 3 of them.
Okay.
To bring me up to a 15.
Nice.
You've been out of the council for quite some time, but you still do know a lot of the goings on, especially in Zahn now more than in Piltover. And you do remember hearing rumors that Singed was working on designing and fabricating narcotics for an individual by the name of Silco. Shimmer, which had flooded the streets of Zahn and honestly probably been the downfall and death of a lot of your acquaintances that you would have known from the before days. And you also would remember that Jinx was the adoptive daughter of Silco.
Well, if we're gonna go back to Zahn, I don't suggest we walk the streets. As Saul said, there was quite a few guards looking for us now here, and the sewers would. Honestly, I've spent some time there. You don't really know what is going to be down there. We may have to take the roofs.
Yep, that's...
I know it's not ideal, and there's a lot of danger up on these roofs. Sometimes it might look nice, but trust me, the tile sometimes slides off. But I think it might be our safest bet.
Nope, I agree. And I live in trees. It's fine. Right. So we should do it at night because, well, it's harder to see. So, and all the lights point down at the streets. So, that's probably good. One thing, and he pulls out that Hextech gun that he took off the dead enforcer, slides it to Niche. Make this work, please.
You know what? I would enjoy that as a little treat after the whole mess of the last thing. No, are we sure the sewers, they worked for us on the way here? I know they stink, but
I think
no,
if they're looking for people in Zon and they're coming back, they may take the sewers back to try and force people that were hiding there into Piltover to then grab them.
you know, I hate that you're right, but okay.
I'm just thinking tactics.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I just cleaned my jacket. I mean, we don't want to. You gotta look good when we're gonna go pounding into Zon and chasing after a maniac with a penchant for explosives.
And the jacket is a Jimmy Nix or a hippie kicks or a.
It's a Mary Nix. It's a Mary Nix. So it's just very kind of like Io. It wasn't always mine, but it is now. Not like when I was saying about your house. Not that you're. Oh man.
Hey, Socks, you're gonna get your house back. Trust me on this. I'm making you a deal right now. You're gonna get your house back because it's important for people to have houses. Okay.
Well, that's always been the goal, but
Oh, not a goal. No, this is a certainty. Oh yeah.
That's a little unsettling, but thank you nonetheless.
I'll walk over to Nemo and just like kind of crouch down a little bit. Do you need a hug? I would be happy.
No, that's total. No, ruffles the fur. And I just re-stunk the tail. No, it's okay. I appreciate it though. Yeah. So, what can we steal from here that we could use?
Oh, that's a good idea. Do you have any hidden contraptions? Maybe an extra revolver or something? Hide it and hide a wall.
Who do you think I was?
I'm thinking like food.
Isn't it common to? And I like pull my jacket and I have like a little revolver tucked in there. Isn't it common to have a little help?
That is not my experience. I have hidden contraptions and stuff. I don't know if they're still active, but it's all paperwork. It's nothing to hurt things. That's not how we do things around here.
Oh.
And why do you have a gun?
That's a really good question. As you probably remember, I'm not a very good shot. You never know. There could be honestly, I won it on a bet.
No, you do something and creepy guy comes out and he goes, "My name is Whisper and I'm gonna kill anyone that messes with Arch." Yeah, it's like
Arch runs at you, like grabs you by the chest and just like gets like super close to your face. What did you say?
That's when Arch realizes there's an automatic pistol pointing next to his head. I said some guy named Whisper comes out of you.
Where did you hear that name?
You told us that just like 3 hours or last night. So it was a while ago.
Let him go and just like, I said Whisper.
Yeah, the whole blue light Whisper thing. Yeah. You don't know this happens? Niche, were we dreaming that?
I don't think so. Arch, how to put this delicate? You appeared to black out for periods of time.
That's why I was seeing Io.
And during those periods of time, or at least during some of them, I don't know, I would love to crack open that skull at some point and take a closer look. But there appears to be another inhabitant of you, and this person is quite serious, and They do seem to care about your well-being, and this person calls themselves Whisper. What does that mean to you?
I haven't heard that name in a while. I'm sorry, Nemo. It just caught me off guard.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. I did think that it was a little bit of reductive thing that he was all like whispering and he called himself Whisper. But like, what's going on?
His name's Sosin. Sosin means whisper. It's just a little name that we call each other, or I call him. He calls me something else. I just haven't heard it in so long.
Arch, make another Constitution save for me, please.
Well, let's go.
19.
Desperately looks at Nemo, Io, and Reggie to step in.
As you give this look, you see a bright pulse of blue come from the pendant, and it disappears off of Arch's neck, and you see it slither down and wrap around his arm.
Look, Sosin is his name, and you're saying he came out and talked?
Arch's eyes flash blue. Sosin.
What are you doing to Arch?
Asking about you.
You bring him pain. I don't like that.
It feels like you're the one bringing him pain.
Yeah, exactly.
The pain he feels for me is from loss. I'm trying to keep him safe and protected.
But, like, how many times do you come out and then he wakes up and he's got a black eye, he's been hit by a chair, and everybody's stolen his money?
Sometimes the tough lesson is necessary.
Oh.
But when it's serious enough, I will step in.
Okay, Blue and Spooky, do not tell me about loss and pain is necessary. Now, you two need to kiss and make up, because this is a problem already.
I will save him at all costs.
All right.
Without me, he would be with me.
I can't say that I know Arch very well, but right about now, I miss Arch.
Yeah.
Before you
DM.
see yourself out, though. Oh,
Go ahead.
just you, the pendant in which you seem to live, and Niche gestures towards that. They've also kind of moved away from this interaction between Arch and Nemo. And she gestures towards the pendant kind of for Io and Reggie, because they weren't there the previous night when we kind of realized that that's maybe a part of this whole thing. Before you go, wrap up whatever's going on there, you seem to flash, or manifest, or try to, at the name Singed. Why is that?
Sosin, roll me a history check.
I'll preface this by saying none of us here, or at least myself and Nemo and Io and Reggie, don't seem to like him so much.
Oh, I
We're
hope
not
17
nobody else
friends.
likes him. Yeah, I
17.
really hope nobody else likes him.
Sosin, you know the name.
You know what? I'm going to use 3 summoner points to make that a 20.
Yeah.
Thank you, chat.
Sosin, you kind of hesitate for a second. The world kind of fading out ever since whatever happened to you happened, and you found yourself trapped inside this pendant that you gave to your departed, or to Island before passing. You haven't really had a lot of memories, a lot of clear ideas of what you're doing there, how it happened, or how you even passed. But upon hearing this name and looking, the world kind of fades back and then comes back into view. And so you kind of look around, and it's nighttime, it's dark. You're hearing the odd gunfire, a large explosion. You're on the bridge, and you are dealing with a couple enforcers. You had just taken 2 of them out, and you are standing breathless, muscles tired, slow. And that's when you see down near the other end, on the Piltover side, a figure. Bald head, sunken, decayed, and then another explosion, and a flash of green mixed with swirling purple and a hint of red before you are snapped back into where you currently are. And I would like Arch to make another Constitution save for me, please. Not.
That is a 18.
Arch, you kind of notice you seem to be in your body but not in your body. It's almost like you're watching yourself move and look around, and you're seeing your new companions, and they are talking to you but in a different way, calling you a different name, calling you the name of someone who departed. And you hear his voice in your head too, having this conversation. And then all at once, you're back in control. The rest of you see the eyes flash blue again, and Arch regain composure. But this time, Arch, you remember what just happened.
What was that? Holy... That was Seltzer. He's with me.
And the rest of you would see this pendant go back up his arm and rest again around his neck.
Singed. He was there. He was there the night. Nemo, you're right. I'm with you. This good non-gentleman is going down. Take care of him.
Stretch. The word we're looking for is asshole.
Right. Jerkhole. You're right. Yeah.
Say it with me. This asshole is going down.
Asshole.
See? It's fun. It's fun. Now, as Nemo looks, does anyone else wish to say that they have ghosts, spirits, other personalities, or anything like that before we get this over with, so we know how many people we're dealing with, how many people we need to get food for, and if there's any more surprises? No?
Recall any?
Okay, well, you're scary in general. But
Io, are you trying to deceive Nemo right now?
oh God.
Maybe. Yes.
Okay. Roll a deception check for me. Nemo, you can roll a investigation check, sorry. Or insight check, sorry. My bad.
Oh, I'm better at those. Oh, yeah, I am better at those.
It's a 23.
Oh, not that good. It's an 18. Whoops. And I can't burn enough summoner spells to match that. So, yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Yeah. Io seems fine.
Right. Okay. So we're good. Niche, you're good. Stretch, we're still working on that. Io, cool. Socks, everything's great. Right. I'm gonna raid the fridge and the cabinets and stuff like that to try and find food for everybody, and then hop up onto the roof and see what the best way will. Limber up, because once night comes, I think we gotta move, and we gotta move quick.
Yeah. Let's go quick. I like that. Since we're waiting for night, and I'll like run over to Io and like, can you do one more card trick? Tell me something good.
Okay. And she will pull out her oracle cards, her deck of black mist. And we will roll.
Yeah, so I will get Arch to roll percentile dice for me, please.
Oh, sense.
Okay, so
Meanwhile,
we already know 2 cards.
Niche, if you were going to be looking at the pistol that Nemo handed over, you can roll another engineering check for me. And if you want to use your glove right off the hop, I believe you can do that at advantage.
42 for the percentile.
42.
Hey, that's the answer to life.
The dice, y'all. Io, as you shuffle the deck. Well, explain again how you shuffle the deck and pull the gambler for Arch.
Io pulls out. She doesn't do anything super exciting when she shuffles. She essentially just splays out the cards, flips one over, and pulls up the gambler, which is, let's pull her up. Visually, the gambler shows a pair of dice, one with the sun faced up and one with a skull, coins scattered throughout the design and the border in simple plain lines, all in black and white. The gambler, at its core, is a card of warning. It says to the reader, there may be good fortune in the future, but know that fortune and vice often lead down dark paths. You did find it upwards, though, which means riches and abundance. It means a new beginning. But it does mean the tables will turn.
You know what? I'm gonna hear the abundance and riches and positive part of that, and we'll let future Arch deal with the other part, and it's just gonna go from there.
Io, are you going to release the magic in the card or leave it?
I'm going to keep the magic this time around.
Okay. So, as this card reading is happening, Io, you kind of go into this not trance-like state, but very focused and defined, and you actually, I'm going to get Arch and Io to both make Constitution saving throws for me, please.
$12.
That's a 2.
The explosion rocks the house.
So as this kind of happens, the two of you kind of see the world slow down. You see Niche going to reach with her glove towards the pistol, her fingers stopping just slightly before they get there. You see Nemo turning to go towards the main part of the kitchen and freezing. Reggie is just advancing back towards the table after backing off during Whisper's last appearance, and is like half sitting down back into a chair, and all stops, and the world kind of goes black for both of you. And Io, Arch, and Whisper, you all are standing there. Whisper, or Arch, what does Whisper look like when he was alive?
Very similar to what I had kind of described before. Sharp features, sharp eyes, long black hair, typically pulled back into a kind of a ponytail, but with like the sides shaved. And in his life form, you would see these like three tattoos on either side, just these like little diagonal, like kind of like rectangle lines. Typically though wearing like all black clothing with a white sash just kind of tied around the waist. And then those wraps were still also there, kind of like described in the corporeal form, from wrist to elbow and from knee to ankle as well. And Arch sees this, right?
Yes.
And Arch reaches up and just reaches out towards Zen, my Whisper.
Hey, hello. It's wonderful to meet you, Sosen.
He looks towards you, Io. It's actually quite wonderful to meet you as well. And if possible, Sosen will reach and grab Arch's hand.
It seems as if this projected image of the three of you inside one of your minds is giving you a somewhat corporeal form for the time being.
Io. Is it? Io's the name, right? Please take care of my Arch. My island. And Arch is just holding Sosen's hand, just tears coming down his face, and he turns and he reaches up and he before he turns, he kind of like looks back and he looks at Io and kind of gives you like a detailed squint. Io, you remind me of another Vestayan I once met.
Who might that be?
The memory here is fuzzy and gray. There's so much cloudiness. I feel like I'm getting a C, a cat, Callisto, maybe? It's hard to tell. Am I close?
Yes. Yes, you are. Very, very dear friend of mine.
Callisto. Was this Callisto so dear that you would do anything to protect her? For them?
Anything and everything.
This is how I feel about my Arch. And for some reason, I'm still here to be able to watch after him. I hope you have the luxury to still have Callisto in your life.
I hope so too.
Sounds like you're still seeking the ones you care for. I will promise you this. He may not seem like it, but Arch here is a deer. And he has a good heart. He will follow you and help in any way he can. If you show him kindness, look after him, and I will help you as well in any way that I can. Through him.
I like you already, Sosin.
Io and Arch, give me another con save.
That is a 14.
I got another 12. I'm not sure if that's gonna help me. So I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 more summoners to bring that up to 14. So at least we're on the same page.
So as this conversation sort of finishes, you see it's like that extension of tunnel vision, the figures separating away from each other in 3 different directions, fading to blackness, and you kind of all give your heads a shake and snap back, and everything kind of goes back to normal. Niche begins digging into this gun. Nemo makes his way to the kitchen. Reggie sits down again. Arch, you remember this interaction. Io, you do not.
Arch just hugs you, Io. Oh my god.
Oh, you enjoyed the reading?
He was there. He was there, Io. You met him. Isn't he wonderful?
I met him?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say much. I was speechless, but you spoke. Who's Callisto? How can we find Callisto?
And how do you know that name?
Sorry, I was laughing at Nemo with the slow turn. Sosin knew Callisto, and you said that they were someone that you really care about, and you were looking for them. Is that right?
That is correct. I do not recall this conversation.
Now I'm not the only one blacking out. It's so nice to have someone to understand my experience. But honestly, I wish you would have remembered that it was such a lovely moment. I'm sorry, but whoever Callisto is, I'll help you find him. I'll find him. If that's what you want.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you.
I look at Nemo but point at Io. Blackout buddies. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought I was fucked up. Hey, yeah, hard-boiled eggs, sides of bacon, food. Niche, please tell me that gun works, because I have a feeling I'm gonna need it.
Nemo, roll a investigation check for me as you start to root through the fridge and pantry. Niche, your engineering check.
I'm still working on it. And Niche, sitting at the table, kind of eyeing Reggie here and there. If you want, you can come take a look. I don't know if you care for mechanics. You have an eye for magic, so I don't know. If you'd like to join, you're more than welcome. And Niche rolls a 25 using her first ability called Empower Extend, kind of collecting red mist kind of from the air, seeming to manifest it from around them, making their fingers more dexterous and more able to kind of work through the mechanisms of this gun.
Reggie, are you going to go and assist?
It's not necessarily my area of expertise, but I'm damn well interested. Show me everything. And yeah.
You can roll me an Arcana check, Reggie. Niche, using the glove, because as soon as you were handed the gun, you were still holding it from dealing with the box. You instantly saw a blue light go off in your glove, meaning that you know that this gun involves hex tech, and you are very easily able to, with your proficiency, mostly when it comes to tools and firearms, able to pull the gun apart fairly quickly to get to the internal mechanisms. Reggie, what did you roll?
Natural one.
Absconded from the council far before the indoctrination of Jace and Victor in the discovery of hex tech. Though you have heard about it, your arcane abilities being far more natural and from within yourself, you have never really needed to look into the use of this type of arcane, and therefore have absolutely no idea how it works.
It looks interesting.
It is. Hextech is kind of a miracle. I mean, it's less of a miracle when it makes something like this, but it's incredible when have you seen the things people can do to augment their bodies? The things people can create to repair or rebuild, or just to upgrade in some cases using this. It's a marvel, really.
Sounds like you know a lot about it.
I dabble. I have a bit of a knack for the meat, is the way to put it. The parts of the body that are fleshy. And when I showed up in Zon, I quickly found out that metal is so often a part of people's bodies, especially in Zon. And well, I wanted to be able to treat both meat and metal.
Huh. I have to be honest, my entire body is just meat. But maybe I should get some metal.
I'm really good at making angles. I think I've done 2 this month.
Well, maybe we could revisit that later. Yeah, I might be interested.
All right.
My metal never stays in the meat. It's weird. It just goes right through it.
We could work on that as well, but
Oh, that'd be nice. If it could just... Oh, yeah.
No, not what. No. I don't know why. As Nish is now picking at this gun, is she able to put it together such that it would work for Nemo specifically?
So, from what you can tell with that high of an engineering roll, you do see built into the handle compartment of the gun, there appears to be a little tube that is fed into the loading chamber via some sort of like pressure relief valve and another little tube. Unfortunately, from what you can glean for this, the tube appears to be empty. So unlike some of the hex tech that you've heard of that is powered by what you remember being called hex tech gems, it looks like this one actually just had a small amount of energy stored in it. You get the sense and the idea from the engineering and the way you made it. It'll still function as a normal gun, but it looks like the power behind this weapon was kind of a, in case of emergency, break glass, one use type of deal. You are sure that were you able to get yourself in the hands of either Chemtech or Hextech, you would possibly, with enough time and tinkering, be able to recharge the vial. But as it stands right now, it seems to be inert and is just a normal handgun again.
Oh, shit. Nemo, I'm sorry, your fancy gun has been demoted to regular gun, but we could perhaps make it a fancy gun again at some point in the future when I have access to my shop again.
Was it because, like, the guy was holding it? Like, am I going to have to start collecting hands?
No, it's not anything like that. Nemo, please, we're going to have a talk about you collecting things. Like, perhaps we should get you a hobby, like maybe you collect spoons, or maybe you get different, like a mineral collection, but not. It's just, it's a one-time use sort of deal, and
Look,
I don't
I
have.
I already threw away everything that was on the roof. Okay, I mean it's just. Okay, fine. I won't collect any. So, fine. All right. Well,
you
then
can
we'll
have-
just have to look more more of them. All right.
And I think I can make it work again, but not now. I don't have what I need. But if you want
That's
to hold on
okay.
to it,
Oh yeah, no, totally. I'll hold on to it because now, well, I don't know. Do you want to hold on to it? You were the person that like melted the guy, so technically it's your trophy.
I don't like that. So no, thank you.
Okay, I'll hold it for you just in case. Just kind of stashes it in the belt.
Nemo, what did
Thank
you get
you.
on your investigation check?
Hey, 15.
15. So as you kind of make your way over, there is still little remnants of food on the table, but it's all cooked, prepared, and probably wouldn't travel well. You're more in the search of rations that you'll be able to take with you. Opening the fridge, you kind of see it is very well stocked. There appears to be a number of fresh vegetables and fruits, some meats in the side. You see a 6-pack of slot pops, which is a new item that is making its way into Piltover and Zon from a far-off region, which is a new up-and-coming delicacy, is what it's being touted as in Piltover. You can find various versions in Zon as well that are a little less delicious, but this appears to be the actual hog brand of slot pop, which is supposed to be top tier. In the icebox, you see ices and some various frozen treats and things like that. So there are some things that you think might travel well, but a lot of like the food in the fridge and freezer and whatnot that's easily accessible is mostly perishable items.
I'm gonna take a handful of fruit. Definitely those pops. 100%. We can use these. We can use these for trading in case we like run into somebody. They also make great distractions. You kind of throw them and they go pow. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be mainly like bread and stuff like that travels okay. Sorry.
These are in, so let me try one. I mean, we gotta try the latest hits, right? And so I'll pop one open and try a slot pop.
Save that.
Sure, make a Constitution save for me, Arch.
Oh no! 17.
17. It's definitely an interesting flavor. It almost
sorry,
seems...
I was looking at the wrong number. 15.
15? Okay. Doesn't matter. It's definitely an interesting flavor. It almost seems like if you took a carbonated beverage and mixed it with hot dog, taco, and soda pop. But the soda pop flavor is very subtle. It's almost like a carbonated fair drink. That's also a food. It's an interesting, almost like bubble tea, but like if bubble tea were made on the fairgrounds.
Out of meat.
I
Okay.
like
Yeah.
this. It's not, it's got to take. Yeah, not bad. It grows on you if you keep going at it.
I would rather eat a sheet of copper.
Yeah.
Let me try a bit of yours. Wait.
Oh yeah, here you go. Try it out.
Yeah, let's save the other 5 to give to other people. Maybe it'll poison
I'll
them or
make a
something.
Constitution save for me.
What if I
We're
can-
rolling great. It's a 2 again.
Oh wow.
So you take probably Io likes to dive in feet first with everything, as we've clearly seen already. So as opposed to like a small sip like Arch had taken, Io takes a long swallow. And as she kind of comes down from the drink and kind of swishes her mouth around some of the solid bits, mixing with some of the liquidy bits. She gets it down, and about 5 seconds later, as she hands you the slop pot back, Arch expels right in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe not.
Well, excuse me.
Okay.
I will clean that up.
2 doors down on the right. This is the bathroom. All right, if a halfie has that reaction, I ain't drinking any of that. We'll use it for trade, and okay, cool. I'm gonna hit the roof and see what I can see.
Let us know when it's good to go.
You're sitting about mid-afternoon now. You had all gotten in fairly late with your long rest. It was already close to high noon before Casker had left. So you only have a couple hours to kill before nightfall is going to start. This time of year, later in the season, getting close to the harrowing. The sun is up less time during the day. So Nemo is going up to the roof to do some investigating. Is there anything anybody else is doing at this time besides cleaning up? And
Is the music actually playing, like this music? Yeah, okay. Nemo said limber up, and what better way to limber up than dance? And Reggie's just gonna get up and kind of dance as if he has a partner, but he doesn't have a partner, and just gonna kind of get moving.
Arch will 100% swoop in there and just let's do it, and like get in there with Reggie and start dancing around.
Perfect. I'll get performance checks from both of you.
Performance. Okay, this is 17.
I got a dirty 20.
Dip me.
Damn.
It's strange because though you've only known each other a short time, it's almost like your body chemistry is right on point, and you fall into a perfect foxtrot around the kitchen and around the table and the vomit as Io is cleaning it up. Niche sitting at the table watching the two of you put on this little dance show. Is anybody else doing anything?
You have some amazing moves for you're young. You're young at heart, of course, right?
You watch your mouth, young man.
I apologize. It almost nearly went. I'm just so thrilled right now. This is so much fun. Spin you.
Distraction.
Nemo, as you climb up to the roof, you're in the more residential area of Piltover and the quite nice residential area of Piltover. So there is larger yards, the houses are further apart. What specifically are you trying to do right now?
I am trying to map out what the safest and not necessarily most direct and most dangerous, because I don't know how any of these jokers can jump like I can, but the safest way to go rooftop to rooftop stealthily to get to the bridge to go over and into zone.
Okay.
Not through the bridge, but up and over it.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
I will 100% click the side of my glasses, fill them with green mist, and burn a charge on my aviators give me okay. I like advantage on things because that'll be a nat 20 for a 26.
Nat 20 for a 26. Perfect. So as you see, you realize that it's probably a great idea to wait until nighttime, as like I said, these open boulevards, wide street, extremely large houses, larger than any. You don't understand why any group of people would need a domicile this big. To you think probably your entire tribe could have easily and comfortably lived in any one of the houses that are in this neighborhood. But you notice that going from roof to roof in the direction you want to go is going to be quite difficult. But you are able to spot a route that will take you through some gardens to the edge of the district, and then from there you can plot out a course that you can see the taller, much higher buildings of downtown Piltover that you'll be able to make it across fairly easily. The issue that you think you might have is getting to those roofs. But once you're there, you think there's going to be a pretty easy possibility of you being able to at least make it to the bridge or the river.
Right. So across, down, grass, 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 up, down, through the trees, maybe pick up some vegetables, back up, cross, cross, big, tall, and then we go. Okay, cool. Wow, they're going to hate that, but oh well. Yeah, I'll just start to map that whole route as many times as I need to just try and memorize it.
Perfect. Is anybody doing anything else while you wait for dusk to fall?
Io, while everyone is having a good time, is going to just dip out a little bit, just to a different room, to pull out that document
Sure.
and read through it.
So as you find a quiet spot to go and pull this out and read it, as said before, you pull out this plain manila folder, just the word Callisto written across the top. And as you open it, you begin to read, and it looks a lot like an FBI file almost. There are big sections. Number one, there's a photo, a picture of your sister in the top corner of the first page with a stats breakdown, age, height, weight, all of those things. And then it says position, but past the word position is blacked out. And then as you're flipping through the pages, there seems to be a number of mission details, different sites sent to, and big chunks of these all appear to be blacked out as well. You pick up bits and pieces like sent to Zon, target redacted, mission successful. Next page, sent to Bilgewater, target redacted, mission success. And as you go through, there's probably a good 6 months of all of these different pages of missions where most of the information is blacked out. And then you come across the final entry in the file, which is Bridge, Piltover, Zon. Target, blacked out. Mission, failure. Status, MIA. And that's where the file ends.
Io takes one more concerned, hardened look at the document, takes a very deep, controlled breath. And with that exhale, her demeanor changes. Oh, Reginald! Reginald? Reggie? She...
Yes. Hi.
Sorry to ruin your fun.
I'm just limbering up. What's going on?
I couldn't help but snoop around. You have so many papers and knickknacks around.
I was known to be a little bit of a hoarder. I just like my stuff, you know?
Do you... Where might you have acquired these documents or things? Nothing in particulars.
Just mostly various stores, and bookstores, and some of the documents are my own writing, and you just collect knickknacks along the way. You know how it goes.
I do.
I feel like you're leading me to something.
Nothing in particular, I suppose. I mean, I pulled something interesting out. Just a good read.
Oh?
She pulls out the document and she says, do you have any insight onto this?
Oh, let me just take a look at that one. And if you'll pass it over.
Oh, they do. Definitely.
Reggie will just kind of open it up and finger through it a little bit.
You can give me a history check, Richmond, please.
Ooh. History. Was it 21?
21. You vaguely recall that during the war between Noxus and Ionia, there was some worry, some threat that it could come as far south as Piltover and Zon. You know that the City of Progress has always had because of Heimerdinger, has always had a staunch rejection towards violence and warfare and all of that. It's always been a peaceful city. It has always had treaties and alliances and trade routes with all the other nations that you can think of, employing just the enforcers to guard the city itself, which has always been more than enough. Besides, the uprising that has happened a couple times now in Zon, which you remember all too well. You do remember that some of the council members had decided to start up a pilot project program without Heimerdinger's knowledge, and had approached you right before the final uprising, before you abdicated from the council. You're not entirely sure because you had left the council beforehand, but you do remember the project starting, and it was taking special individuals that they found or recruited that could blend in almost any situation, almost any environment, to take out what Piltover and this subcommittee thought would be extreme risks to the status and way of life that Piltover has. The project kicking off shortly before you left the council, so you're not entirely sure why this document is even here. It's not something that you would have been involved in, but basically the Black Ops idea that some of the council members had when you were there.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I have a vague familiarity, but I'm not overly knowledgeable on what this document is. I know the council was up to some new projects of sorts. that maybe not everybody was aware of. But I left the council around the time it started up. So I don't know if that answers your question.
I believe it does. And Io is going to use their cognitive empathy on Reggie to read him.
So I believe that's a charisma save for Reginald.
That is a DC
Let's make
15.
a charisma saving throw, Reggie.
Definitely not. It's a 6.
Okay. So describe to me what this ability looks like as you use it on Reginald.
Reginald catches a glimpse of the dots underneath Io's eyes. And while you can't seem to look away from those dots, you can see at the corner of your eyes a soft green arcane light that dances around you like wisps of flying snakes. Anyone else who may be around, they don't see this. All they see is a very long, drawn-out pause between the two of us.
So as you penetrate into Reggie's mind, reading the surface thoughts that they're having, it's very easy to check out, or it's very easy to pick up that what they're saying is the truth. The only thing they might be holding back is that Reggie knew that it was a special unit designed to be a kill squad that he didn't want a part of. Is the only extra info that you can get.
I feel like I can trust you.
I'd like to say that I can trust you too. I said as much yesterday, but you also
absolutely.
took my stuff.
I didn't take it, I just found it. I wasn't keeping it, I showed it to you.
You have a good point. Okay, I still trust you.
Thank you. I trust you.
Excellent.
So coming back from the hall where Io and Reggie had this conversation, rejoining Niche and Arch, is there anything anybody else would like to do before we do the time warp to nighttime? Awesome.
No.
So after a couple hours of hanging out and doing your thing, the sun starts to dip behind the larger buildings in Piltover, and very quickly it becomes dark. Champions, what would you like to do next?
Well, now that the sun's set, we're all limbered up. I think it's time to put our money where our mouth is and get out there and try. I don't think that was the appropriate time to use that. Basically, get at it is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Are any of you worried about your ability to scamper over the roofs? All right. Io? Anyone
Yes.
else, Nemo? You're good. Reginald?
I mean, I do have a way to help myself, but more help is always a good idea. I'm 76 years old.
Dead? Oh,
All right. Sure. Okay, so the three of us, Arch, are you good?
Normally my luck is pretty foul, and I'll just like look at the necklace and I think I'm good today.
Here's to hoping that's a good inkling. All right. And Niche will go about very slowly collecting energy around themselves. As we're kind of maybe out on a balcony somewhere outdoors, it looks like she's manifesting kind of that red smoky mist, and it seems to pull from other houses nearby. It seems to pull from beneath us. And it seems to kind of coalesce in Nisha's hands, and then a bit of a swirl, and it turns green. And then Niche will redirect that energy into the arms, into the calves of herself, into Io, and into Reggie. And what they are doing is, we'll say, enriching their muscles and making folks a little bit more spry and a little bit more springy. So every one of these three will have advantage on dexterity checks for the next hour. It might
Awesome.
feel a bit strange at first. Do a squat if you can, but it should help.
Nemo like comes down. So the route is actually pretty easy. We climb down here, then we cross the street, and then we go up onto a smaller building, then we cross that, then we go down, then we cross a garden or three, and then we come back up, and then there's like, another thing, and then we get to the tall buildings, and we can just go boop, 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 and then get to the bridge, and then we're all good. It's about I don't know, mile and a half.
I didn't understand any of those directions.
Just follow me.
Okay, I could do that. Yeah.
Awesome. So, marching order. Nemo heading up the front.
Oh, yes. And I am also going to use my second ability, Sneaky, and start getting advantage on dex checks. And with that, you actually see Nemo, because there's stories of Vestaya that they settle into a form, but they can occasionally change it here and there. Nemo just kind of looks back and smile, and all the white just darkens until he is completely black colored. Just head to toe, all the white just blends in with the black and shifts into moments of black and gray. Okay, so is everybody good? So it's down, across, up, across, down, across. Just follow me, okay?
And go a quarter of the speed that you want to go.
Yeah, no, I'll be going a little slower. Don't worry,
All right.
It'll be okay.
That's a cool trick, by the way. I'll go in the back.
Okay. So we're going Nemo and then Niche or Reggie.
I think Niche would gesture towards Reggie for him to kind of move in front.
Reggie will go second.
So Nemo, Reggie, Niche, Io, Arch is going to be our marching order. Perfect. So are you all going to follow Nemo's example and move stealthily? If so, I will get stealth checks from everybody, please.
I'd also like to use an ability if I could.
Of course you can.
You're gonna see the light orange rune go down the center of Reggie's nose, and his pupils will constrict, and his beard will look a little bit feathered for a moment. And I'm gonna use the Channel Falcon ability, so my passive perception goes up quite a bit, because reasons.
Awesome. So Arch, stealth check.
17.
Reggie,
16.
Io,
14.
Niche,
14.
Nemo.
26.
So as you start to move following the hectically given directions of Nemo, there are at times where Reggie, if it wasn't for the ability, thank you so much, chat, that you got from the hype train that we had that unlocked everybody's second abilities tonight, you would almost lose him. He is so blending into the modded grays and blacks of your dark vision that it's hard to pick him out every once in a while, but you are able to make it through this district. Luckily, the first step through your journey quite easily, and you come out on this grand boulevard, and across the street is where you can see the buildings start to tower high up into the city skyline. Nemo, how are you going to go about getting your crew on top of the roof of a skyscraper?
Didn't think that far ahead because I was just going to climb. Probably try and find, just real quick, look for smaller buildings with access that maybe there's like a roof that leads to a slightly larger roof that has a balcony, that just kind of doing the Q-bert thing.
Okay,
Until we can get high enough.
I'll get you to make an investigation check for me. Are the rest of you doing anything while Nemo tries to sort out the next leg of your journey?
Okay. Cool.
Just staring in awe.
I'm watching the rear, making sure no one's coming from behind.
Okay, make me a perception check, Arch.
6.
Where you're coming out is more of a social district, Arch, and you are looking down the alley and across the way and see what looks to be like a gambling hall, or a bar at least that has gambling, and you are very focused on that location and aren't really able to pay attention to much else. Nemo, your investigation
12.
check. 12?
12.
Okay.
Nemo's not smart.
So you are able to get to some of the higher up buildings, and then across the street is a very high building from this medium-sized building that you are on. There appears to be a headway that enters into the higher up building, but you're not sure how you would climb to the top of this without going in and through the building.
All right. Think we might have. Anybody getting cold? Do you want to like go inside maybe? Because I got an idea.
Just show us, take us where we need to go, Nemo. We can't be hanging out on rooftops or on the sides of buildings for too long.
Okay.
It looks suspicious.
No one's gonna see us. It'll be fine. So see that kind of raised platform over there that leads into the next building, and then I think if we take that all the way up to the roof access, then we can start hopping easier and easier. I can just leap and climb and all that. I'm just worried about all you guys because we're about 5 floors up now and we're kind of hurt.
If the door's locked, it's no problem. I can get us through the door.
Oh, hey, yeah, me too. So should we go that way, like risk going inside?
I think so. Better than a 5-story fall.
So to get across this platform down into the pedway and over to the door to go into the skyscraper, I'm going to need everybody to make acrobatics checks for me, please.
Cool.
Arch.
I rolled an 8, so I'm going to burn all 3 summoners on that to bring me up to 11. Thank you, chat. Hopefully that's enough.
Reggie.
I'm going to burn 2 summoner spells to get up to 15.
Okay. Io?
That is a 14, but can I add 2 of my summoner spells to Arch?
Oh, you want to give them to Arch. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Any for yourself?
2 for me. You know, let's now that you say that, since you're saying it like that.
Okay. Niche?
A natural 20. Can Niche maybe reach out a hand to Arch to help? Maybe or jump behind him and kind of push him to kind of help, because they're just behind and might be able to see the struggle.
Okay. And Nemo.
23.
Of course. Yeah.
Who behind me is having the worst time?
So
Is it
luckily,
Arch?
because of the use of the summoner spells, thank you, chat, and Nisha's natural 20, everybody is able to make it at various degrees. It takes a little bit longer, and in fact, I'm gonna have Arch make another stealth check as they are getting into there, not at disadvantage, thanks to the help from Niche.
That will be 14.
14? Okay. So as you move along down this empty corridor, it looks like this is more of like a businessy type area as opposed to a like residential part of Piltover's downtown. So you are able to come to the door and it is locked.
I mean, you or me, bud.
I mean, you're probably going to be more quiet about it. I'm happy to do it, but... Oh, are we going to...
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I'll do it. No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll break out my thieves' tools and pick the lock.
Okay, sure. Give me a tinkerer check with your thieves' tools. Meanwhile, Mindy, thank you so much for giving one of those summoner spells that was used to Reggie, and Deej for giving Niche another summoner spell. Remember, 300 bits, you can give any of the players or myself a summoner spell. And they are running low on their abilities, so if we can get another hype train going to get some of those abilities back, who knows if they might need them or not.
That was a 17 total.
17 total.
Yep.
You work on this lock for a little bit. Unfortunately, if this is a business, it must be a fairly important one because the deadbolt and locking mechanism are quite advanced, and you are just not able to... You can get 2 of an undetermined amount of tumblers, but not all of them, unfortunately.
Shit.
It's okay. I can take care of this.
Yeah, kick it in. Do something. I'll back away.
So I will use my there is no spoon and punch this door.
Sure, go ahead and roll damage and double it.
All right, so 4 damage. That's gonna be
Awesome. Thank you so much, Glitterbug Ray, for giving Arch another summoner spell.
Yes, thank you. That's gonna be 15 total damage. I'm sorry. Math. 14 total damage.
14 total damage? Okay,
Yes.
so you slam your fist into this door, and it splinters and kind of pushes back, a large creak and a loud bang going off. It still seems to hold. It might need one more.
I wasn't being literal.
I mean, you've seen me do this before.
Yeah, but I thought you were gonna do the. Oh shit!
I'm just gonna try and kick it in this time. Just a normal attack to it.
Yep. And it's probably Nemo and Io, you would notice kind of looking around. There was some foot traffic down below. It's quite down below. But Io, you do see what appears to be an individual clad in blue, 2 of them that were walking down the street that are now looking up, trying to determine the sound of the noise, or the location of the noise that they just heard.
Anthony,
That
down
one's
below.
6 damage on that one.
Okay. With another kick, the door finally gives way and bursts open into a dark hallway.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So
Find
rushing
the
through
stairwell. Go up, up, up.
So rushing through the interior into this opening, it looks to be kind of like one of those like skyscraper strip malls. You see some closed businesses, some closed food businesses, and you are able to navigate and find a stairwell with not a lot of time, but you do now notice Io and Nemo, what appears to be lights kind of shining from below up into the windows of this building. Are you continuing to move quietly, or are you picking up the pace?
I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
Okay. So I will get stealth checks again from everybody as you maneuver to the top of the roofs.
It's a 17 on the die.
Arch.
I'm gonna use my summoner to get an even 10. Hopefully that's helpful.
Okay. Reggie. Are you
19.
Niche, who did you give advantage to on dex checks?
That was to Niche, Io, and Reginald.
Have you been rolling? Oh, Niche, Io, and Reginald. Okay. Reggie, your stealth check.
19.
19. Io?
Well, it was a good thing I had advantage because it was a 1 and then an 18. So
Flock Obama, thank you for the summoner spell to Arch, who is quickly finding themselves running out. Niche, your stealth check.
16.
16. And Nemo?
A lot. 24.
Okay. Luckily, it's a averages thing, so you are able to quietly move up and get out onto the roof of this building. And now you see, as you all kind of step out, you can see just towering buildings for the next half a mile all around you. And you are probably a good, I'd say 50 feet, 60 feet in the air now. Looking down, it's probably not something most of you are used to. Nemo seems pretty at home with it, though. And you are able to continue making your way. So as you traverse and start hopping these roofs, I'm going to need everybody to make me acrobatics checks again, please.
Now just go to the corner. Go corner to corner. It's less of a jump.
Oh.
Arch.
I'm gonna use my one summoner's blood to get me to an even 10.
Okay. Reggie?
Same roll.
I'm going to use one of mine to make it a 15.
Okay. Io?
I'm going to use 2 of my summon or spells to get to an even 10.
Okay. Niche?
17.
And Nemo.
21.
So
If-
Nemo...
If Arch and Io are starting to falter, I am just going to quickly go and use all 4 of my summoner spells. Put 2 on each for an uneven 12.
Okay.
Corner to corner, damn it!
So Nemo kind of skitters across this roof and makes a leap to the other one. Arch is like, oh, okay, I see. I kind of see how he did it, and tries to do the same thing, not realizing that he's twice as big as Nemo, and jumps across and lands gut check on the corner of the opposing roof and starts to slide down as Reggie jumps over him. Io jumping as well and kind of grabbing, landing almost on Arch and sliding down his back to his feet. Niche leaping over the 2 of them. You have 2 individuals that are on the precipice of falling. I will give each one of you a reaction before they go down 50 feet.
I'm immediately going to grab and just like look at Niche and just go ladder and just try and grab Arch and fling my tail out toward Niche.
Okay.
This
You
is gonna
can
hurt.
make a athletics check for me, Nemo.
Oh no. Okay.
Are any of you, the rest of you, doing anything? You have one reaction. Thank you so much, Dr. Dogballs, resident Arch helper, for another 3 summoner spells for Arch.
He's a doctor.
Certified doctor. Okay.
16.
Sorry, is anybody else doing anything?
Please.
Io, Nope, you're not. Shit. And Niche throws themselves against the edge of this building, and we see just immediately that sticky energy snaps to their body, infuses all of the muscles of their form, and suddenly Niche looks a bit more cut and seems to fill out all of their clothes a little bit more. They look a lot more athletic. Niche has given themselves an infusion of strength and will roll at advantage to try to pull
I'll give you an
Io up.
acrobatics check as well. Archer Io, as Arch, as you hit this building, first off, you're going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of grasp the side of the building, but you're unable to protect your face. That beautiful face of Arch's, and it smashes into the side of the building, and then you feel this heavy weight as Io lands on top of you and starts sliding down.
21.
21. Okay. So Arch, as soon as that happens, you see this slightly larger form of Niche now, or more defined muscular, reach over and grab your arm. So I will get Arch and Io to both make strength saving throws for me, please.
Good, because mine was only a 14.
Yeah. You are able to, Niche kind of leaps out in front of you, which is strange because she's not typically faster than you, but you notice that her body seems to have changed a little bit, and you are able to grab on to Niche to try and help assist with this.
Now doing the swally swole thing, huh?
Arch,
Okay.
your strength saving throw.
Can Io go first?
Arch, your strength saving throw.
All right. Well, I rolled a 7, and I'm going to use all 3 to get to 10. I'm just rolling terrible.
Io, your strength saving throw.
Io rolled an 18 and is going to grab Arch by the tail, Arch with her tail, and
Okay.
hold on as tight as possible as well, while also gripping onto Arch.
So as you grip onto Arch and use your tail, you find that sorry, go ahead. What did you want to do?
Oh, reaching towards Niche.
Okay, so Niche is able to grab your tail and Arch's arm, but you feel Arch's grip, the grip you have on Arch, start to falter. Io quickly grabbing, and as you kind of reach out one more time instinctively, you snatch Io's tail again, but unfortunately Arch slips off and begins to fall, and that's where our match is going to end this week.
Oh,
What the heck?
Oh boy.
The
see? Rooftops. They're easy.
Doing great.
Oh, shit.
so
Ooh.
we will pick back up next week with one of our champions falling just over 8 stories. My gosh, thank you all so much, everybody who came to hang out and watch Become Legend this evening. Let's give it up to our wonderful cast. Arch being played by Fred or Friggins, Reggie being piloted by the always spectacular Kajure, our resident creepy cult girl Io being played by the wonderful, I have to say it like Deej because that's the only way anybody can ever say it now, Kim Grimm. I hope I did that some justice. The always fanciful Niche being piloted by Sarah L. Kinney, and the still not sure how much of a sociopath being Nemo being played by the wonderful Trevor Valley. Just a couple quick housekeeping things. Don't forget, tomorrow evening, Deej, our wonderful founder, is back with another solo stream. I don't believe playing Elden Ring anymore. They're going to be switching it up and doing something different, possibly. So make sure you tune into that. And then on Friday, we are back again with another episode of Honor Roll. Hashtag no spoilers because I haven't caught up yet, and I heard that the mid-season premiere last week was wonderful, albeit heartbreaking from what I'm hearing. I'm not 100% sure because I don't know. And then on Sunday, we have the fantastic Art with Heart, led by the wonderful Miss Mindykins, where I think she's going back to just finger painting. I don't know. She'll have to confirm. We'll have to find out. And then again on Monday, another solo Deej stream. And then we're back on Tuesday. So there's no shortage of awesome, wonderful, amazing things to find at the Forge. And another reminder, just because it's so important, I mentioned it at the beginning of stream, but the Forge is, we are doing more Skittle art on Sunday with Art with Heart. So the last one was fantastic. I love Tidbit. I'm excited to see what else Mindy can pull off with her wonderfulness. And then don't forget that, again, I'm mentioning it. Thank you so much, mods. The GM applications for you to sit in this chair and have an amazing cast like I do and tell your story. Those are open until October 7th. So another 4 days. Again, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and until our next match, have a great night.
Get them apps in. Get them apps in.